Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time I am building here in the world of Hinford-on-Bagley, which is of course the world that came in the cottage living expansion pack. So I am still absolutely obsessed with this expansion pack. I had so much fun building this. I really hope you guys are going to like it. I think it's just so cute, and I think it really captures the best of this expansion pack, at least in my mind. Of course you guys might disagree with me. Some of you might, that's okay, but I just really love it. I think it's really adorable. It ends up having 2 bedrooms and maybe 3 bathrooms. I'm not exactly sure. It's been a little while since I built this, so forgive me if I forget anything, but I know for sure it has 2 bedrooms, enough room for 1 or 2 parents, and then 2 kids, because I did put 2 beds in the kids' room. But there is this bonus sort of skill building room or family room, whatever you want to call it, that would be perfect for another bedroom if you really needed the space, or maybe you could squeeze in a basement or something. I think there's lots of possibilities if you really feel like you need more bedrooms, but I think this is a really nice home just for a medium 4-sim family. Of course you could add a couple of cats and dogs, and that would easily add more Sims to your household. But yeah, I'm building a nice little farm here. I actually started building on, well, this lot, as you guys can see, but I move it over to the more flat country farmland, just because I really wanted to add more activities and things to do on this lot. And this one I was quickly running out of space, and so I move it over there just as soon as I finish the exterior shape of the house and details and the floor plan, and then I do all of the landscaping over there. And for the landscaping, I end up having a play area for the children. I have a few sort of scattered planter pots around, so your Sims could actually grow some fruits and vegetables or flowers or something. And then there's a huge garden for the actual oversized plants that came with this expansion pack. And then there's a couple of animal sheds as well as some chicken coops. There's a barn slash garage, and then of course the house itself. And then I added tons of landscaping and details, and I just really, I had so much fun with it. It's one of my favorite interiors I've ever done, and it's very yellow. I don't know if I've ever really done this yellow of an interior, but I think it's so beautiful. And I actually got really inspired by a comment that I received way back in August, and really I should have done this build sooner, but I screenshotted the comment and I saved it, and thankfully I finally found the right inspiration, or felt inspired enough to build this. And it's just, I'm so thankful for this comment. It's so fun when I get an idea from the comments and I can actually make it come to life. I mean, it's probably not exactly what this person had in mind, because I think they were wanting more of a sunflower field, but I'll read you guys the comment. It's from Loretta Langendorf. I hope you're still watching. I know the comment was left back in August, so hopefully you're still a viewer of my channel and you see this build, and hopefully you like it. But she said, a sunflower cottage. Can you make a sunflower obsession cottage? Sunflowers everywhere in the landscaping. And then country kitchen kit has some sunflower kitchen stuff, the sunflower pictures, the decals. I'm talking every sunflower the game has to offer. Maybe she's a single sim who does flower arrangements or something. I'd love to see a sunflower build. So this is my sunflower build. It's not a sunflower farm because I tried to do the landscaping like that, and I really just did not think it looked very good. But I do add some sunflowers in the landscaping, and then of course the interior has tons of sunflowers, and so I'm really proud of it. But reading the comment, I initially thought farm, even though it doesn't say that necessarily. That's just kind of the vision I originally saw. So maybe I'm just a little bit disappointed that I didn't fulfill my original vision, but I'm still so pleased with it. But yeah, here you can see I'm working on the floor plan. I loved using that open door that came from the industrial loft kit for the back door. I wish there was a closed version, because I mean all year round you probably wouldn't want it to be open, but it's just so pretty. I couldn't help myself, especially in the screenshots of the light coming through. I was completely obsessed. The view out the back door is so pretty. And yeah, I just really love that door. But the floor plan came together really easily. I was trying to add a few fireplaces around, so you'll see me messing around with that. I end up putting one in the living room, I believe. I really need to open my screenshots. Let me open them up so I can look at them, because it's really been a while since I built this. Yeah, I get one in the living room and the master bedroom for sure. I think I tried in the bonus room and in the children's room, but I decided that that was a bit too much and I don't know, didn't quite look the way I wanted to. So I decided just the two were plenty, but I had so many like chimneys that I felt like I needed several fireplaces. But anyways, here you can see I have moved to this brand new lot. So I have way more space and I'm so happy that I did. But here you can see I'm working on the driveway first. I actually got the idea for this driveway from a picture that I saw on Pinterest. And actually the shape of the house is pretty similar to the house that's in that image as well, but it's a little bit different, but the driveway is like very similar and I just thought it was so pretty. So I'll put a picture of it here on screen so you guys can know what I'm talking about, what I was looking at. But here I tried mirroring the brick wall, but it just was a bit too much and it looked too grand. I wanted this home to feel more simpler, like not plain necessarily. I just felt like it was a bit like kind of like a grand entryway, that it would be like to like a manor or like an estate or a mansion or something. This I wanted it to feel more like a regular family home. So yeah, that's what I tried to do. I'm also using this white picket fence that I never use. I used it recently in a build and I was just like, I need to use this more often. So I used it here, and also I think you can see a little bit of one in the image that I was looking at. So it kind of fit perfect into like my inspiration and everything. But here I'm just picking out several objects and things that I know I'm going to want to use and that I need to plan to have space for. And I think I ended up laying it out pretty nicely. It took me a while to figure out exactly where I wanted everything to be. I would have loved to have had room for like a pond, and I'm sure if I really tried, I could have squeezed one in somewhere, but I just felt like by the time I started adding things, that if I really tried to add one, it was just gonna feel way too like forced and maybe like overcrowded. So I ended up not doing that. I would have also loved like a smaller like vegetable garden maybe, but I say that and then there's like the field garden with the oversized plants, which I think totally works. And I did add some like vegetables and stuff in there. You'll actually see me add the plants at the end of the video. And actually I was playtesting this build and I tried like going forward in time using MC Command Center, and I hit the wrong one. I meant to go like 24 hours in the future, but I went 24 days in the future, and then all the plants died, the chickens left, the cows the cow and the llama were like bugged out, and like I was like, what happened to my build? Like, why is everything so weird? And it was because I like skipped ahead so many days that I think the game didn't know how to like catch up with it. And so thankfully I was able to like fix it and start over. But yeah, the MC Command Center is so useful. I know I've been talking about mods and stuff a lot recently, but that's one that I definitely use, as well as the tool mod. I've been using that a ton recently. And I've also been doing some builds with custom content, which has been so fun. I'm really enjoying it. If you guys ever have a creator or something that you would like me to check out, please leave them in the comments, or actually maybe I'll make a community tab. That way they're all concentrated in like one area. And then you guys can let me know your favorite CC creators. And then I can do some more showcases because that's so fun. Most of my builds, I really like to do just the EA, like in-game objects, but every once in a while, it's just so fun to download as much as I can from one single creator and do like a build or an interior, like an apartment or something, only using their stuff. It's so fun. But anyways, over here, I'm building I'm gonna call it a garage. I think in my mind when I was first building it, I wanted it to be more like a barn, but it's a garage. It definitely is. But in there, I end up putting like a woodworking table and basically just random clutter. Other than that, there's nothing else that's really functional in there. So it's almost like a purely decorative building, but you can go in there and use the woodworking table to, I don't know, build furniture or sculptures or whatever the woodworking table actually does. I'm not really sure what all you can build with it because I haven't really played around with it too much. I have played around with it before, but it has been so long. But I mean, of course I can see the built things when I look through the debug menu. But yeah, here I'm just adding some decorations and I'm using these arches again. I love these arches. They came with Cottage Living and they're actually wedding arches, and I haven't used them as a wedding arch yet. I talked about actually building a wedding venue in this world, or at least with this style, because we got that wedding arch. So I'm definitely gonna have to visit that idea sometime in the future. But for now, I really like using them as just like archways leading into gardens, or just like, I think that's the only way I've used them actually. But either way, they're so pretty. I really love them. And I also placed a few decorations next to them, and those more like rustic looking planter boxes is where I end up putting the sunflowers. So there's no sunflowers like around the house or no sunflower fields, but I really tried. I cut it all out because this video is already way too long and it would be so unnecessary to watch, but I struggled trying to make them look nice. I don't know if it's just like the sunflowers themselves, because I do like them, but some of the textures do look a little bit weird. I hope they update them at some point and maybe give them a different texture, or if we get like a different sunflower, that would be nice. And maybe I can make it work with those, but yeah, anyways, over here is going to be the chicken coop area. So instead of actually closing in the chickens with a fence like I have done in all of my other builds in this world, or any time that I've used them, this time I decided just to leave them open, and they wander everywhere. They go on grand adventures. It's so cute, and I had so much fun like play testing it that way, and it just seemed more realistic to like be like I was just taking the screenshots by the car and there'd be like a chicken walking past, or you know, just chickens walking everywhere. It just seemed so much more realistic, because I don't know if you guys know this, I've mentioned this before, but it's been a long time that I actually grew up on a farm, and my mom has chickens, and so there's always been chickens everywhere, all over the farm, and so it just felt so like homey and realistic to me, so I was pretty happy about that. But anyways, over here is going to be the play area for the kids, and of course, as you can see, I have a swing set, but I'm also building this sandbox using some sand, terrain paint, and some debug objects just to kind of border it in, and I think it looks so cute. I also add some like toys and stuff in there just to add more activities and things for your Sims to do, but of course, your children's Sims can actually build like sand castles in there, so it's so fun. I love that that's a possibility, because I think sandboxes are such like an easy and like fun activity to add in like any yard basically. I mean, sometimes I don't have the space for it and I would like to add one, but really they're so easy to make. But anyways, here I'm just adding some more landscaping and like terrain paint, trying to make everything look nice and like it belongs where I put it. And I think it looks really good. I especially liked the landscaping on this build. I thought it was so fun, and I just love the combination of the flowers that came from this expansion pack, and you can only find them in the live edit objects. So in case you're not recognizing them, they are from the Cottage Living expansion pack, but they're not available in the regular build and buy catalog. So I'm not exactly sure like the reasoning behind that, but I'm really happy that they're in the live edit objects, because as I've mentioned in like every video, I love the live edit objects plants so much better just because the textures tend to be better. I mean, that's not always the case, but in my experience, it's mostly the case. But here I'm trying to figure out what I want to put in this planter box. So I'm so happy that I actually thought to put the sunflowers there, because that actually incorporates, you know, the idea from the comment that I was looking at, but also it just looks nice. I'm gonna have to do this like more often because it looks so cute. And I'm also using the tool mod to change up some of the sizes, because we only have a couple of different options for the sunflowers, and the scaling option in the Sims is like kind of limited. You know, there's only certain sizes that objects will scale up or down to. So I think I made it look pretty nice. But over here I create like a little gardening nook with a couple of bee boxes, and I put the flower arranging table over there just to kind of make the space a little bit more functional. I mean, of course the bee boxes make it functional, but I wanted another thing for your Sims to do, so that's what I end up doing. And then I add this wagon here, and I fill the wagon with pumpkins just because I was feeling a bit like fall when I was building this. Of course, it's officially fall now, and I actually built a fall family home. That one wasn't like filled with pumpkins everywhere. I definitely want to. I think I'm just not like super in the mood yet, because where I live, it's not really fall weather yet, although it's getting there. It's been a little bit cooler the last couple of days, so I'm starting to feel it. And I went shopping and I saw some of like the fall decor out in the stores and some like costumes at the baby store, which was so cute. Oh my goodness, me and my friend went shopping for our children, and the baby store is so cute. Oh my God, we went a bit crazy. Like, and he outgrows everything so fast, but I couldn't help myself. But anyways, yeah, I'm starting to feel the fall vibes a little bit more. So hopefully I will have like a full on like fall themed, autumn themed build with like pumpkins, and maybe I'll do like a Halloween. Actually, maybe I'll do both. Let me know what you guys would like to see. So I'm not exactly sure what I'll do at the moment, but I know I'll do something. But anyways, over here in the animal pen, I'm just adding some landscaping, trying to make it look very overgrown and natural. Like, I didn't want it to look manicured or taken care of pretty much at all. Like, the cow and the llama just walk around in here, they eat the grass, and things grow, and nobody's maintaining it besides them, well, eating things, obviously. Yeah, over here I'm just working on some more of like the terrain paint, trying to blend it in. I actually really liked using this terrain paint, and I'm not really sure if I've used it before, but I thought it just kind of made the grass look more worn and a little bit dead, like Sims have been walking around, the animals have been walking around, so it's not like super green or anything like that. So yeah, I thought that looked pretty nice. Here I was struggling with this window, and basically the other windows I was trying to use too, for some reason they were snapping to the floor above like the awning, like the floor the awning sits on. I don't know why. I've never really had that happen before, so it was kind of weird, but thankfully I made it work. Here I'm just adding some more planter boxes around, adding some more sunflowers in these ones. But yeah, I put 2 of the larger, more like rustic looking planter boxes next to the driveway, and I put a couple more in the backyard too, and I put some harvestable trees in there. So I thought that was kind of nice. So there's kind of like a scattered orchard around, which I thought was pretty cute and kind of a fun idea. And I just love these sunflower boxes. I'm completely obsessed with them. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna have to do them again in another build because I think they just work so perfectly. And I don't think I've actually used those planter boxes in another build. If I have, I think I've left them empty. So yeah, now I have something to put in there that I really like. But anyways, here I'm moving on to the garage area. So like I was talking about, I have a woodworking table in here so your Sims can do some woodworking. And other than that, it's purely just like gardening clutter and things that I thought filled in the space really nicely. I used this really nice gardening shelf that we got from Eco Lifestyle. I thought it just like worked perfectly in here, and I thought the colors were nice. And I also used the decorative potting bench that we got from that pack too. I'm obsessed with that one. I use it in almost every build that I possibly can. We do have a few other options. Like we got one that came in this expansion pack, but I just don't like it as much. It's all right. It's not as cute. But anyways, here I'm just finding different like clutter items and things to fill in like the shelves and on the countertops, and to fill in like the different spaces, just to make, I don't know, this garage feel like used, like they're actually storing things in here. But also I wanted it to feel, I don't know, kind of realistic or something. But I think I made it work. It kind of was a struggle. It took me a little while to figure out exactly like how I wanted everything to be laid out. Like I actually decorated it once before this attempt, and I did not like it at all. So I was really trying to not do like the same thing that I did before, because it's very similar, but for some reason I just didn't like the way it was coming together. So thankfully I liked the way it came together this time, and I love adding these like wooden sculptures and like the piles of wood. It just looks like the Sims have been actively like working in there, and they just have like their projects and stuff, and it's just so cute. But anyways, here I'm moving on to the interior, and I knew I wanted to start off with the dining room, and I ended up moving the place where I thought I was going to have the kitchen originally, because I realized the floor plan was going to be a little bit awkward, and like the living room would be cramped, and it just wasn't going to work out the way I was thinking. And so I'm so happy that it worked out this way, because I think this is more of a like unique floor plan, and it's different than what I've been doing recently, or at least for a while. And that's something I've been actively trying to do, is more unique floor plans, at least in my family homes. And so I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, I just had to start off with the dining table because I knew I had to place it there. And it's just so pretty with the open door. I'm completely obsessed. And I'm also obsessed with this yellow kitchen. It's a bit glaring for some reason. I'm not sure if it's the archway as a back door that's causing it, because I know they can cause some like brightness issues in the game. And so I think that's what it is. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully it'll be fixed, or maybe it's something in my game and it won't be this way for you guys. But it's not too big of a deal. It didn't bother me too much, but it is something that I wish was different. But yeah, over here I do have a laundry room, so I quickly just place them in here, and I use a yellow shelf, of course, and I do go back in and add a few clutter items in there. But first I'm going to decorate the kitchen. And so yeah, I was basically trying to make this build feel like cozy and homey, and of course add sunflowers. So I added the sunflower decorations that came from the Country Kitchen kit, and then also just a lot of like the yellow swatches that came from Cottage Living, and then of course like the base game decorative sunflower items. We just have so many good things with like sunflowers, or golden swatches, yellow swatches, and even like more of like a honey brown color that works really nicely with like this whole color scheme. So I was just loving it. It was so much fun. I love decorating when I have a specific like color scheme to go for. It's really enjoyable to me to find other colors like that complement them and try to make it feel cohesive. I mean, not that I'm using like too many other colors in this build, but I do have brown, I guess, which is another color. But yeah, here I'm cluttering up the kitchen counters. I really wanted to add like so much clutter, but then I kept having to remind myself that this kitchen needs to be usable in case you guys want to download it. So what I end up doing is actually getting rid of the items that are to the right of the sink, and then I put them over here on top of this shelf because I still wanted to use them. And yeah, I think I made it work. And what I end up doing in its place is putting those cutting boards. They're such a great way of adding like clutter to a countertop without actually blocking the counter itself. So it's still completely functional because they snap to the walls and not the countertops themselves. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. But anyways, over here is going to be that laundry space. I'm just adding like a few decorations in here. It's very simple. It's nothing very exciting, but I think it looks nice. And then over here is going to be the living room. So I'm so happy that this ended up being the living room and not the kitchen, because this would have been like way like too of an oversized kitchen. It would have been, I think it would have been a bit silly, and it makes a better living room because I'm able to use these couches, because the couches are quite large. There's not a love seat version of them, unfortunately. I really hope that at some point in The Sims 4 or at least in The Sims 5, we get complete sets of the furniture. So when we get a new couch, there's a matching chair and a love seat. And so you can use them as a complete set, or really what I want them for is to use them in smaller spaces, because this couch is beautiful, the texture and like the colors and everything I love, but it makes it so limited because the size of it. If you want to use it in like a smaller living room or a smaller home, like you pretty much can't. Like you really need like a larger space to be able to use them properly. So yeah, but here I'm doing this shelf thing that I did pretty recently. Well, something kind of similar to it in another build in this world. I cluttered up like this table behind the couch with tons of decorations. So I did that here and I'm so happy with it. I think it looks really good. And then I just added that basket of blankets and pillows that came from this expansion pack over there. And I thought that one was perfect because the colors were exactly what I was going for, but also there was a pillow with a chicken on it and I thought it was just so adorable. But here is where I have the fireplace and the TV. I thought this looked really nice together, but I felt like I needed something to like fill in the space. And so I thought about putting this archway there, but I felt like it just looked so ridiculous. So what I end up doing is just using the platform tool and creating like this pillar. And I can't remember if I end up making the wall brick or not. I think I might, yeah. So I just made it brick so it looks more like a support structure. At least that was my like reasoning behind it. And then here I'm cluttering up the coffee table, and the coffee table, I actually made it using a base game coffee table, and I placed it several times and rotated it to look like a circular coffee table. And I think it looks so good like this, and it's been way too long since I've done it. So I was really happy with the way that turned out in this build. And then over here is of course going to be the hallway. In the hallway, I have a walk-in closet, a side table, a bookcase, some artwork, some wall lights, basically just things to make it feel like fully decorated, and trying to find things that I thought looked nice and made sense in the space, but didn't make it feel like overly crowded or anything, because I still want your Sims to be able to walk through here easily. But of course, like the bookcase makes it a little bit more functional. And then here I'm decorating this side table with a few different decorations that I thought kind of look nice in here, and it's pretty simple, but I add some like book decorations and some statues and a lamp. And then over here is of course the entryway. Usually I decorate the entryway first, so it's kind of weird for me to be doing it like in the middle of the build, but yeah, I just put some entryway clutter like the umbrella rack, some shoes, a mirror, and a chair that I imagined your Sims could like sit down and put on their shoes. Of course they won't do that, but it's a nice idea. But over here, this is the room that I was talking about. Could be an extra bedroom if you felt like you needed it, but I thought it'd be really nice to have like a space for the Sims to like hang out as a family and to do activities together, because I was trying to think of the family that I envisioned living here, because it's actually been some time since I have like really thought about the Sims personalities. I've been building more for like specific styles recently, it feels like, and I've also done several community lots, which, you know, I'm not building for Sims in those lots. But yeah, for this family, I was thinking that they're just really creative. Like both of the parents are very creative. And so I wanted to have a piano in here. And I did the same trick that I've done like numerous times, where I use the keyboard that came from City Living and then I merge it into a couple of side tables. I tend to use the side tables that came from, I think, Cats and Dogs, just because they just kind of look nice and they kind of look like a piano when you place them like this. So yeah, I'm sure other ones would work if you don't have these ones, but I think these ones work pretty nicely, and I can't think of any other ones that would work. Maybe actually the side table that came with this expansion pack. But anyways, I love it. It totally functions. It looks cute, and I really hope though at some point we get a regular standing piano, so I don't have to make one, but at least there's a workaround. But yeah, in here, like I was saying, I just wanted activities, so I have the cross-stitching box. There's a arts and crafts table for the children. I put some musical instruments in here. There's an art easel. So there's just lots of activities for your Sims to build their skills and to be creative, because I was thinking the kids are also creative too. So yeah, I placed the arts and crafts table in here for them. Just one of them, even though I did imagine there was 2 kids, but I think one of the kids really likes drawing and the other one is more into music. So I do place a child's violin in here. So I imagine one of them plays the violin and the other one draws or makes craft projects or something. So yeah, I just thought that looked so nice, and I loved having like this family space, and it makes me think that I should probably try to add them in more family homes. And oh, this is also something I end up doing. It's I go through and I add these actual like drawings from in the game, and I put them up on the wall, and I use the tool mod to kind of like rotate them a little bit, and I think they look so cute. I'm like completely obsessed with adding them. I added a ton in the bedroom too, by that side of the bed or the side of the room that child lives on. I'm completely obsessed with using them. If you guys would like to download them, I do have them favorited on the gallery. I will try to remember to put a link in the description. If I forget to, then forgive me, but you guys can find like tons of artwork on the gallery. Of course, there's like custom made artwork from like custom objects in the game. I guess they bring objects into the game and then paint them in the game. I think that's how it works. I'm not exactly sure, but there's lots of them available on the gallery too if you guys are looking for more artwork. And I've thought about downloading them too. I'm definitely gonna have to take some time and go through and actually search for them. I just haven't had the time yet. So yeah, we'll see if that happens in the future. But anyways, over here I'm decorating the side porch and the back porch. On the back porch, I just put a chess table, so there's an activity back there. And then on the side porch, I just put a plant decoration just to kind of fill in the space, and I thought it looked nice. And then over here is going to be the downstairs bathroom. So the downstairs bathroom is very simple, but I think it matches the build, and I felt like the bathrooms just felt very like old, like the original bathrooms to the cottage, and maybe they just kind of like fixed them up a little bit, maybe like redid some of the plumbing but kept all of the original fixtures and like actual like bathtub and the sink. I'm not sure what you would call those, but they kept those original but like just cleaned them up a little bit. I thought that was kind of a fun idea because I do imagine that this home is very old, but like it's a modern family living here. So hopefully that makes sense. But anyways, there I did decorate the window seal. I wish you could do this. I wish they actually had like snapping points and they didn't have the outdoor lighting. So it doesn't look like perfect because the lighting on them is kind of gray and blue and has the weird outdoor lighting. So if you don't like it, just delete them, and I wouldn't blame you because they don't look super cute, but I more just like the idea of it. But there I just hung up a couple of pictures leading up the staircase, and then the hallway leading into the bedrooms is very simply decorated because it's so narrow. There's like no space to put anything, but I do add like a few decorations and some artwork, and I think it looks pretty nice. But here I'm just picking out some of the wallpapers for the bedrooms. In the kids' room, of course, I use the one that has like the mushrooms and the bunnies and all of like the cute stuff on it. I'm completely obsessed with it. It's one of my favorite wallpapers, if not my favorite wallpaper in game. I know I can't use it everywhere because it doesn't suit like most styles, but for this style, it's perfect. But anyways, over here is going to be the master bedroom. So in here, I had no choice but to use the sunflower bed from base game. And it actually works pretty perfectly because I think it gives your Sims inspiration. So since I imagine this to be like a very creative family, then I think they get like an inspiration moodlet from this bed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how it worked. But I mean, like I've mentioned before, I never do any gameplay, so it might not work exactly like that. But yeah, over here I do have like a little seating area next to the fireplace with a bookcase, and then I just add some like plant decorations and this adorable tray that I use in almost every single build. I love that tray. It came from, I believe, Tiny Living, but it has like books and candles and a plant, and it's just so cute. I really just adore it. But yeah, in here I just add basically things that I thought looked nice, trying to fill in like the walls and trying to make them feel fully decorated. And I shuffle things around a little bit, but I end up putting them back to their original placement. And the wallpaper that I use actually came from the Paranormal Stuff pack, so in case you're not recognizing it, I thought it worked nicely in here. But of course there's like lots of different wallpapers that would work. Something I would have liked to have seen from Cottage Living is a solid version of the wallpapers that came with this expansion pack, because the wallpapers are beautiful. I love the patterns on like the more like traditional looking wallpaper, I'm going to call it, and then also the one for kids. They're all so cute, but there's no just plain solid swatches. So yeah, it would have been nice to have seen, and maybe I would have used that in the bedroom. I'm not exactly sure, but it would have just made it so much more usable in like other builds and made the pack just more versatile. So it's kind of disappointing. But anyways, over here is going to be the ensuite bathroom. Here I thought about shuffling things around and moving this table over here, but I end up not doing it just because I didn't really like the way it looked. So I just put everything back really quickly. And then over here is going to be the kids' room. So like I was talking about, I put 2 beds in here so 2 kids can sleep comfortably in here. Maybe they're twins, maybe they're just siblings. I'm not exactly sure. But I do think they're both child Sims and they're both very creative. So the one on the left side of the room is the one that I imagine likes drawing and like arts projects like that, and then the one on the right side of the room really likes music and animals too. I did put like a few like animal decorations on that side of the room, so I was thinking they're really into animals and music. And then the child Sim on the left just really loves drawing and arts and crafts projects. Maybe they like animals too. I do imagine that could be the case. But yeah, I just had so much fun going through and finding different decorations to put in here, and I thought the rug that I used was really pretty. And of course the wallpaper and stuff, I just thought it looked so nice and I had so much fun decorating it. Kids' rooms are always like so fun for me. It's one of my favorite rooms in the house anyways. I do really like, well, this room, and then probably my top 2 have to be, I'm gonna say the like family room, and then of course the dining room, just purely because of that archway leading to the back door or leading to the outside. It's so pretty. But yeah, here I'm just finding posters, and I hung up some of these art projects that I was talking about and rotating them a little bit, and they look so cute here next to the bed. And I just imagine this kid is like so proud of their drawings, and so they want to put them up on the wall. I didn't put any on the refrigerator just because I don't think it would really suit the refrigerator that I used in this build, but that's something you could totally do really easily if you would like to. But yeah, here I'm just finding different clutter and stuff that I thought made sense for the Sims personality. So some like art supplies, some pens, some pencils, and then I also put a book down here. I think it's just a children's story. I don't think it's like an art book or anything, but just a children's story, a couple of them. And then I also clutter up with toys and different stuffed animals. I use this doll, and you guys actually warned me that maybe the doll will scare your children. So if it does and it bothers you, just delete it. It should be pretty easy to delete, I imagine, but it looks really cute as just like a regular toy decoration. But there I just added some decorations to the dresser, and I actually end up adding a cross-stitching pattern on top of the dresser too. So you'll see that in the screenshots. It's just one with a rainbow on it, because once I saw it, I thought it looked like it belonged in a kid's room. So that's what I end up doing. And then over here, I'm just finding posters for this side of the room. So like I was saying, I imagine this Sim really likes animals, and then they also really like music. So I was trying to find posters and decorations that kind of showed both of that, and I was trying to not use posters that looked like they were handmade, because I was really trying to show that this Sim is more into music and not into drawing, even though they might like to draw sometimes. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, here I'm just finding things that I thought suited that. And of course I clutter up their side table. The side table that I used in this bedroom came from Snowy Escape, and I used it just because it was so small, so it fit next to like the bed really nicely without taking up too much space. So yeah, I was really happy with that. And then I add a little music book next to the bed too. And then the last room that I'm going to decorate is the bathroom. So it's the bathroom that I imagine the kids use. It's nothing exciting. I just copy over a lot of the items from the other bathroom. So yeah, it looks very similar to the other ones, but of course that means it matches the build. But it really wasn't a large space to add like anything too crazy, at least in my mind. So that's what I ended up doing. And then here I'm moving on to the exterior, just adding the final few details. So I'm filling in all of the dirt mounds with some of these overgrown vegetables. And then I also fill in the planter boxes with some berries, some flowers, and some harvestable trees. And then in the center of this garden is where I do like a little vegetable and herb garden. So yeah, I think it looks so cute, and I loved adding all those plants, and I think they look really nice in the screenshots, and I just completely obsessed with like this whole build and everything about it. So hopefully you guys have liked it as much as I do. Hopefully you guys enjoy the screenshots. And yeah, this is basically it for the build. I'm just adding those final few things that I was talking about. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
Don't listen to what everyone else says. Take your time. You're not there, man. Yeah, you might not be at your best, but it's fine. I don't mind telling truths when you need to hear them, and be kind when that's what you prefer. How about when you can't see a way out, help you fight, and let you know that it won't always be this way. You will get there someday, babe. Feel the sun on your face, visit Paris or Broadway, and chill out on Sundays. Please don't take this the wrong way. I'm on your side through the worst days. I just have to say I miss my best friend, seeing her smile. Still, I don't mind telling